Hello everyone, my name is Ryan and welcome back to another video here today. Today we are going to be playing Doki Doki World of Dreams Act 1 again. This is episode 4 and right now I am currently running on 2 hours of sleep and I am recording this at 11 in the morning. This is going to be an interesting one. We're going to see if I'm able to read this. But in the last episode, I ended it off when I guess, supposedly the Dokis came over to, I don't know, surprise Miji? I don't know, Sayori brought them all over, and they're at Miji's house. So, without further ado, let's get into this, shall we? Hi there again, Monica. Ah! I'm so sorry, Chizu. Oh, it's already starting. Ah! I'm so sorry, Chizu-san. I didn't mean to startle you. I rubbed the back of my head as I sit up. Ugh, no, it's not your fault. Sayori, get in here. That sounded angrier than I meant it to sound. Oh, Miji, you're awake. Are you okay? Are you feeling any better? A bit confused right now. What's going on? Well, Sayori, what's going on in there? Oh my god, Natsuki. Oh, as a blonde. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, I love her as a blonde. That's incredible. I love that. The other two girls walk in. I've seen Yuri already, but who's the blonde girl? Wait, the ribbons on her head, and the twin tails, and her flat, posture. Natsuki is a blonde? I turned to Sayori slowly. Sayori, explain. Well, I wanted to get you to join my club today, so I was going to invite you, but then you got sick. I couldn't wait for you to meet the club though, so I brought them here. Whoa, I did not expect this from Sayori. Me neither. This is an unexpected move for her. It's too aggressive. Miji, be mindful. Let them make the first move. So you brought them here instead? Are you mad at me? I sigh, rub my eyes a bit, then look up at her with a smile. No, I'm not mad at you. You're my bestest friend. Even if I was, I couldn't stay upset for long. Are we bothering you? No, it's alright. I slowly sit up. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm Chizu Miji, Sayori's neighbor and best friend. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sayori's telling us nothing but good things about you during club meetings. Seriously, Sayori? This sick boy is who you choose? So much for a nice club atmosphere. You didn't tell me the other girls were this cute, dude. I mean, wow. Huh, that's strange. What is it? The fact that these incredibly cute girls showed up to my house? Well, that too, but I meant this conversation. It's nearly identical to the way it goes in the original game. Alright, let's see how it goes. I don't add on that Miji's following I don't add on that Miji's following the script a bit too. Better keep an eye on that. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly in my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Muramoto Natsuki from Class 3C, always full of energy. And this is Yoshika Yuri from Class 3E, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. What is it? Maybe it's just me, but Yoshika-san kinda seems like the type who has a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Muramoto-san. She does, but don't think any less of her. She's extremely intelligent, and we're going to need her help. But, but she's extremely intelligent, and we're going to need her help to see if we can let you take control for a bit. And you already know our club president, Asano Monica from class 3D, right? 3D? Really? Of course she has that classroom. Oh, 3D. Haha, yes, nice to meet you again, Shizu-san. Sorry again about the head. Are you okay? Does it still hurt? Well, that's new. No, it's not hurting as bad as before, and don't be sorry. It wasn't your fault. I smiled back at her. My heart's really going Doki Doki right now. She really is very beautiful. Wait, you guys know each other? We were in the same class last year, but we didn't really talk. Like, ever, right? Hardly ever. Well, we're going to have to fix that. Miji, do you feel well enough to have some cupcakes? Cupcakes? I put a hand on my stomach, taking a deep breath. You know, I do feel better than before. A cupcake does sound good. I've only had chicken broth today. I'll get them. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Natsuki and Sayori head to the kitchen, Sayori practically giddy with excitement. Chizu-san, is it okay if I make some tea as well? It might help you feel better. Assuming you have some kind of tea set. Do you guys have a tea set? Sayori knows where all the tea stuff is. We haven't moved it since she was last here. Oh, of course you can. Sayori knows where our tea set is. Thank you, Chizu-san. Well, along with Monica. What should I ask her? I've got it. So, Asano-san. I'm curious. How come you decided to make a new club? You're pretty talented already. You could be a high-ranking member of any of the major clubs at school. Weren't you pretty high up in the debate club last year? Monica sits a respectful distance away on the other couch. Well, if I'm honest, I hate big club politics. She picks up Portrait of Markov and looks over it nonchalantly. While I was in that club, there was nothing but arguments on budgets, publicity, and preparing for events. Don't get me wrong, the debating part of the club was fine and all. But I wanted to form something based around something I enjoy, and try to make something special out of it as well. And if that encourages people to get into literature, then I'm already making that dream into reality. Subtle, Monica. Really subtle. Really subtle. Don't crash. We're starting off with the crashes early, I see. Seems like she knows already. I'm just gonna have to keep taking your word for this, aren't I? Yep. Well, that's certainly an admirable goal. Sayori said you're a great leader, and from what I've heard of you, and remember about you from last year, I believe it. But how come your club doesn't have more members? I mean, I get you're still kinda new, but I'd have thought there were more people in our school into literature than just the four of you. Well, you have to understand, not many people are willing to put in the effort to start something brand new. Especially with something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. It's a lot of work trying to convince people that you're fun and worthwhile. But that makes school events like the Culture Festival that much more important. I'm hopeful that we can grow this club before we graduate. Admirable, and I hope that dream gets realized. Just then, Natsuki walks back, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? You've no idea. I give Monica a sideways glance. I can almost see a flirtatious rising of her shoulder. Ta-da! Ooh-ah! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray. I hadn't seen the cupcakes in the game. They were described as cats, but the craftsmanship I see is beyond anything any normal high school or senior can make. The cupcakes themselves are soft and white, with the multicolored frosting having been poured on expertly. The image of cute kittens were probably painted on with some sort of brush made for that purpose. The whiskers are made of chocolate icing, and bits of chocolate sprinkles make up the ears. So cute! I had no idea you were this good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry up and take one. I didn't make them to be stared at all day. Sayori grabs one first and immediately inhales it. So good. I grab one, then look over at Natsuki, who's sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for us to take a bite? Yeah, she is. I make a show of looking over the cupcake. You know, this cupcake is pretty professionally made. How long have you been baking, Muramoto-san? Long enough to know how to make good pastries. Fair enough. I finally bite down. Wow. The game did not do this justice by a long shot. The cupcake itself is light and fluffy, but not overly sweet like some are. The frosting, I hate this cliche, but in any case, melting in my mouth is a perfect description. The chocolate and vanilla flavors don't clash, but blend well with each other. Suddenly aware of how hungry I am, I devour it very quickly. What? My cupcake! Be careful, dummy, slow down. I smile sheepishly as I place the paper wrapping down carefully. I haven't had much to eat today, only the broth that Mom left me this morning. I grab a napkin from a small stack that Sayori had brought in and wipe my mouth. Although, I think one is enough for me for now. I hope it's okay if I can take a few for later. Do what you want. It's not like I've definitely heard this before. Made them for you or anything. Yep. Made them for you or anything. You're right. She is a classic tsundere. That's some impressively weird logic she has there. Told ya. I humbly accept these gracious offerings to my poor wounded stomach. I take two more. Yuri returns, carrying a tea set. Here we are. I'm surprised though. This tea set is nearly identical to the one we keep in the club. It is? Yes. It's a bit older than the one in the club, but the design is almost identical. Oh, that's quite a coincidence. Ah, that is true. Hold up, you keep a whole tea set in the club room? How does that work? Ah, yes. The teacher gave us permission to keep a set in the room. Do you make tea regularly? Said that wrong. It's early. I make it almost every day. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Hehe, don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. I'm not intimidated. I am impressed though. I give Yuri a kind smile. That's not... Yuri looks away, looking a bit insulted. I meant that, you know. It's alright, Yoshika-san. I do enjoy a good cup of tea, and I'm sure my stomach could use it too. I'm glad. Especially today. We're not bothering you too much, I hope. No, not at all. I'm feeling better than I did. If all goes well, I'll be at school tomorrow. As Yuri begins pouring tea, Biji speaks up. This isn't normal. Not normal at all. 4 girls willingly coming over to a 6 boys house? Not normal. I mean, I'm not surprised Sayori came over, but why these other girls? Not that I mind, but still. No argument here, but then again, this is supposed to be a dating sim game. I wouldn't be surprised if their affection stats are higher than a normal human's. Either that, or the script had to improvise. When Yuri's done pouring the tea, I take a cup, blow on it, and sip. The taste isn't too strong and feels soothing as it flows down my throat. Ah, that really hits the spot. Thank you, Yoshika-san. Think nothing of it. Oh, by the way, there's no need to stand on ceremony with us. It's perfectly alright to call everyone by their first names. Not mine! Natsuki, don't be rude to a sick person. It's fine. I'm flexible, Muramoto-san. Good. You can all call me by my first name too if you want. Monika and Natsuki go to grab another cupcake, but Yuri looks at me curiously. Something on your mind, Yuri? I try not to sound rude. My apologies. I was just, curious as to your literary interests. She indicates the books on the table. I assume you read manga? For a long time, and I still do. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Just like in the game, she looks like she wants to say something, but keeps quiet. However, I've read a few other things as well. Like I told Sayori recently, I read Sense and Sensibility, just for a change of pace. And then yesterday, I picked up this book at the bookstore. I hold up Portrait of Markov. I've already read a bit into it. It's a good read so far. I also read some of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth fantasy books, and I've read C.S. Lewis' Chronicles of Narnia and his Space Trilogy. Well, it's good you're trying to expand your horizons. How about you? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. You mentioned Tolkien earlier. His books are a long-time favorite. Oh my god. You mentioned Tolkien earlier. His books are longtime favorites of mine. The level of creativity and craftsmanship he put into that world amazes me to no end. Same with other books with similar world building. But what impressed me more about that book series is how he was able to tell such a human story within such a vast world. I agree. Even in manga, there can be some complex worlds and incredible world building. I've even taken a stab at creating my own world, and I've come to respect those who do it a lot more. It takes a lot of intelligence and foresight. Yuri nods in agreement. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. It's pretty amazing how an author can take advantage of the reader's lack of imagination and throw them for a loop. Yeah. I've been reading a lot of horror lately, coincidentally. Yuri picks up Portrait of Markov. This one is one of my favorites. Well, don't spoil it for me. Ooh, I won't. First-hand experience of a book without knowing the plot is always the best. Horror? I didn't expect that from you, Yuri. Especially for someone as gentle and caring as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. As opposed to physical horror? I mean, that makes sense. Those types rely on cheap scares. Exactly. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh? Why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second, almost as if she's asking for backup. I get where you're coming from, Muramoto-san. I have a love-hate relationship with horror. Anytime I watch anything related to horror, I have to sleep with the covers over my head for fear of the monsters I know are not there. Mind and emotions are two different aspects of the human physique. We can know that ghosts and monsters don't exist, but our emotions tell us otherwise. Even then, I still find myself drawn to horror when the mood strikes me. Exactly. Well, except for acting like a kid part and hiding under the covers. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. Monica reaches into her blazer pocket and pulls out a scrap of paper. Wait, she isn't going to say anything about the title? Who gave you permission to look at it? I had to find out who it belonged to. Your cupcakes, your poems, they all scream cute, just like you. Sayori slides up behind Natsuki and pats her on her shoulders. Oh, and puts her hands on her shoulders. Pats her. I'm not cute! Yes, you are, Natsuki. Yes, you are. Sayori, cut Muramoto-san some slack. Eh? There are a lot of people who think being called cute means they're not being taken seriously. I ruffle Sayori's hair playfully. I'm sorry, Natsuki. I didn't know. Forget it. It's fine. Muramoto-san, you write your own poems? Eh? The question seems to disarm her a bit. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I just ask because I do on occasion. It's quite an interesting change of pace. I don't have many poems, but what I do have, I'd gladly share with the club for critiquing. I'd also like to see yours if I can. No! Color comes to her cheeks. Really? How come? You wouldn't like them. You sound so certain. How do you know what I do and don't like? I pick up both Parfait Girls and Portrait of Markov. If I can be reading both of these and enjoying them equally, what makes you think I won't enjoy your poems? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Again, it's early. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Aww, I wanted to read everyone's poems too. After a few seconds of silence, I clear my throat. Turning to Monica, I hold up my hand in imitation of the gesture Monica would make in the game. Okay, Monica, I have an idea I want to run past you. I think we're thinking the same thing. I don't doubt it. Oh, why don't you two just make out already? It's obvious you like her. You really want me to kiss her while I'm still in your body? Huh? No! Well, there you go. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically? Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know. And Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Michi? Why does this look like it's not running at... Why does this look like it's running at potato frames? Also, those eyes, Monica. Jesus Christ. Monica gives me a knowing look. Why is the game running so badly right now? Say, oh, game. Crash. Love doing this every time. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Michi? Monica gives me a knowing look. She's being as subtle as a brick through a window. Well, considering I never said... You know what? That is a good idea, and I'd love to contribute. As your newest member. Their eyes light up, even Natsuki's. Really? Yes! I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, Sayori, gonna puke! Tap out. Tap out. Eh, sorry. You're not just joining for the cupcakes, right? Not at all. They're a good selling point, I'll give you that. but I do want to try something new. Sayori seems to enjoy this club after all. Then let's make it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Uh, I feel like I've seen that animation from Monica before, but it makes me uneasy. I don't know why. Huh? Is Monica left-handed? No, there's a piece of paper in her hand. I take it and shake it. The paper is slipped into my hand. Thank you, Madam President. As we release hands, Monica asks me something new. Hey, Miji. Yeah? Sayori mentioned while we were coming here that you read Sense and Sensibility? And you confirmed it earlier. I raise an eyebrow. Yeah, I have. Why? I was just wondering if I could ask your opinion on something. Is that okay? This wasn't something that was a part of the game. See, you're already changing things. It's been a while since I read the book, but sure, I could try. Well, it's just about Edward keeping his engagement a secret from Eleanor. Was he right? I still say he should have told Eleanor. Natsuki, I keep telling you he was a horrible man. He didn't want to dishonor his family name. Or was that honorable? Honorable. Did I say horrible? You guys, as I see this, I get the distant impression that Monica isn't just asking about the book. It might be that she wants my opinion on secrets, like the one she's keeping from her clubmates. Well, it's a tough question to answer if I'm honest. On the one hand, Yuri, you're right. He was honor bound to his engagement to Lucy. But you're also right, Muramoto-san. He probably should have told Eleanor, but remember that he isn't perfect. Edward was pretty shy and didn't really pursue Eleanor that much in the beginning. It's the imperfections of the characters that make them all so intriguing. I mean, I would enjoy a manga or a light novel so much if the main character was completely OP. I wouldn't enjoy it. Unless it's done in an interesting and unique way. I finish and notice all the girls are looking at me, but especially Sayori, who looks completely dumbstruck. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent. No, it's okay. Thanks for your opinion. I guess when you put it that way, it kind of makes sense. But he still should have said something. It's a slippery slope either way. Yes, it is. But at least they ended up together in the end, right? Yes, there is that. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's somewhat unusual meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me. Miji, I really look forward to seeing how you express yourself. And get better soon. I grin and salute. Will do, Madam President. I begin to clean up. Oh, let us do that. She grabs the tray I'm about to take, and our hands touch. Monica, these looks, man. You can see right through a person, Jesus. Her hand lingers longer than necessary. You've already done enough. You've already done more than enough for us. I mean me. I purposely use a plural and act as if I made a mistake. Let me at least do something. I feel a sudden headache. I clench my head. Geez, I'll let us do something. Stop being such a stubborn boy. Yeah. Alright. Sorry, Muramoto-san. Thanks for the help. I watch guiltily, yeah, as the girls clean up. After a few minutes, the room's clean and the girls head out, all except for Sayori. She comes in with another mug of warm broth. She puts it down, then sees the others off. I'll see you all tomorrow. She comes back in. I hope you're not mad at me for tricking you like that. Huh? Sayori, what did I say earlier? I'm your bestest friend? I ruffle her hair. I know you didn't mean any harm by it. You were just looking out for me, and I appreciate it. Is it my fault that you're sick? Why would she think that? Sorry, why do you think it's your fault? I made you get me snacks yesterday and... Well, since the washing machine's about to begin its very last spin cycle, I gotta end this episode here. We got taken care of by the Dokis. What's better than that? That was really fun. I actually really enjoyed that. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Doki Doki World of Dreams Act 1. This was a really fun episode, and I feel like I didn't stutter as much as I have in previous episodes. Anyway, it was really nice seeing all the Dokis at once. Oh, the washing machine's starting to pick up. Yeah, I hear it. Anyway, it was really nice seeing all the Dokis at once. Again, sorry if you can hear that in the background. Oh god, that is loud. Monica giving me looks that can look through a body. Natsuki's a blonde. That's incredible. And all in all, really fun episode. So I hope you guys all have a great day, great afternoon, great night, great evening. I did that in the wrong order, but I don't care. The link to this mod is in the description. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!